You have an idea of a project, but you don't know how to draw up a budget. Watch the explanations in this video. There are 4 principles to respect: the balance between expenditure and revenue, the eligibility of expenditure authorized by the funder, ensure that the budget is easily understandable and realistic with reference to real costs. There are 2 types of budget: the activity budget, which identifies all resources, and the budget by category of expenditure, where the form is often imposed by the funder. Start by listing and breaking down each activity into different tasks to understand what resources will be needed to carry them out. Note all the human, material, equipment, and service resources needed for each activity. Once the resources are identified, note the type, number, unit cost, and number of times the action will be carried out. For example, for 5 days of training for 50 people, you will need a project manager, a trainer, materials, a room, and translation services. Once you have received the quotes, note the unit cost for each expense and calculate the totals. Repeat the action for all activities. For personnel costs, estimate the number of days needed to complete each activity. Calculate the daily staff rate. Add up the gross annual salary with employer's social security charges. Divide the result, the total staff costs, by 220 days. This is the average number of days worked per year for an employee. The activity budget must now be transferred to the funder's form. To do this, codify your action budget. Fill in the type of expenditure from the funder form for each budget. For example, put the letters FP for all personnel costs and AC for purchases. Income is an important expenditure. Income can come from grants, foundations, product sales, donations, or own funds. Find out about the funding principle. This may be co-financing. In this case, you are given a fixed total amount, and you have to find the missing percentage to cover all the costs to get you to 100% of the budget needed to complete your project. Or it may be reimbursement of expenses. In this case, a reimbursement of expenses at the predefined percentage is granted at the time of the financial assessment of the project. It is therefore a percentage calculated on the real costs of the project. Be careful to respect the principle of balance between expenditure and revenue. And remember that a project is only as good as its ability to implement activities and achieve objectives within a defined budget and timeframe. Plan a balanced, understandable, and realistic budget linked to the activity plan and objectives.